Welcome to Z's and 3.
For 3 for the win, yes!
And that is the way to serve an appetizer for the NBA playoff party. Chef Curry. Warriors grilled Grizzly in the Bay. What a game. Break it all down for you along with the other 7-8 play-in matchups. So 2 teams booking their spot in the NBA playoffs. What it means for them, who they will play, when it will start, and what it means for the 2 losing teams. Plenty of news items as well across the last 2 days. A head coach fired. Bad season to be a Mike in the NBA. New GMs and Mavs GM Nico Harrison finally speaking to the media, although we couldn't hear it or see it, so we'll just relay what was said. NBA ratings as well, not looking as bad after all. Z's and 3s, we have something to do with that. Welcome to all of our new subscribers. You're tapping in at just the right time. If you aren't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button like a Steph Curry 3. Group chat. Game of the night. Golden State Warriors hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. And here is a game that had a high-stakes playoff type feel. But not initially. How about the Warriors? Back-to-back games with major stakes. They get out to a 20-point lead, do the Warriors, off the strength of their 1-2 Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler punch. 21 points for Jimmy Butler in the first half. Reggie Miller made the point on the broadcast, but I had already written it in my notes. Games like this, exactly why the Warriors traded for and also inked to a new contract, Jimmy Butler. Grizzlies, though, come roaring back at the Warriors like they are Leonardo DiCaprio and The Revenant. 2 double-digit runs after a nasty Ja Morant rolled ankle on a landing as Memphis took the lead with 8:18 left off a Jaren Jackson made 3. As a wild lead swing alert. Let's fast forward. Under 2 minutes, 2-point Warriors lead. Steph Curry catches a corner 3 off a beautiful action Draymond Green shovel pass screen combination. Zach Edey had a monster game on the boards, but a putback dunk in between, to which Steph Curry nailed another step-back defender fly-by 3 with just under a minute left to put the Warriors up 6. Looks like they were in comfortable position, the Warriors. But Draymond Green picked up his 6th foul on a push of Desmond Bane, and the subsequent Grizzlies free throws cut it to 4 points. Scottie Pippen Jr. then intercepts Jimmy Butler, who gets caught in the air, making a pass, leads to a drive and a foul. Time dwindling. That's how you make up a deficit. Get to the free throw line. Time can't run. Pippen Jr. makes the first, misses the second. Warriors have to call a timeout. 36.7 left to get organized. Golden State burns clock. A Curry floater misses. Edey gets a rebound off a scrum, is fouled by Looney. Lots of questionable whistles, scrappy play. Memphis was in the bonus late. They go to the stripe. Edey makes both. So it's 117-116 Warriors. 10.5 left. Grizzlies have to foul. They do after 2 inbounds. Curry is the one that goes to the line. He makes both. 3-point Warriors lead, 5.4 left. Memphis has a timeout. They call it to advance. What is the one thing that you have to do in this scenario? Well, first, it's get the ball in. Tick, 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 tick. Whistle. 5-second call. Could not get the ball in. Grizzlies don't even get an opportunity to take a shot to tie the game, to potentially send it to overtime. Warriors ended at the line. Steph Curry, fittingly enough, 121-116 in dramatic fashion. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler combined for 75 points, 38 from Butler, 37 from Curry. The Warriors finally overcome their play-in woes. They were 0-3 across play-in games in years past. They book a spot in the playoffs. What awaits them? Well, it is the 2-seeded Houston Rockets. Golden State in the playoffs as the 7 seed. What a game. That is going to be a great series as well. We will break down all of the first round matchups. I'm going to have that show for you come Friday, but another piece, the final piece of the Western Conference playoff puzzle. Not final piece, excuse me. We still have one more. One more piece of the Western Conference playoff puzzle. See, sometimes even I get confused by the play-in, but the Warriors victorious behind Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. The other play-in game, the Magic hosting the Hawks for the right to play the defending champ Boston Celtics. It was a blowout, turned close game, turned blowout. 22-point Magic lead with 3:22 left in the first half. It's trimmed to 3 with just 3 minutes left in the third. So the Hawks made a run, but from there the Magic go on multiple runs fueled by Cole Anthony, a 13-point fourth period. The lead goes to 29. The game finishes 120-95. Orlando wins. Trae Young gets ejected late for, quote, a second technical foul for kicking the ball away and making a mockery of the game, end quote, per the officials' pool report post-game. 26 in the game for Anthony, Cole, not Carmelo, 19 from Wendell Carter Jr., and 17 from Paolo Banchero. Orlando Magic. I was so high on them early in the season. Banchero got injured. Franz Wagner got injured. Could the Magic make some magic and noise in the playoffs? Well, their point guard play has what's been limiting as Jalen Suggs has been on the sideline. You see what they get from Cole Anthony and what the result can be, but it's a win over the Hawks. Now you have to go into the first round and face off against the defending champs. And how about this for a first round matchup? The NBA's worst team in terms of 3-point makes per game. That is Orlando. They make 11.2. Against the NBA's best in Boston, they make 17 per contest, 17.8. Something's got to give, and how fitting, given the 3-ball being such a major storyline of the season, specifically the Celtics, the defending champs, and the proliferation of shooting the 3-ball. Both 2-7 series start on Sunday. The losers of both of those games are not eliminated, as they will have a chance to still play their way in. For Memphis, talk about the health of Ja Morant. It was a nasty ankle sprain. He did return to the game, but will there be any lingering effects? And the Atlanta Hawks, is it a team that just needs to say, you know what, season's over? Do they retain Quinn Snyder? What do they do? Do they trade Trae Young? I don't know. Their season is not over yet, but they are one loss away from their season being over. Heavy pour leading score of the night, presented by Portland Water. Jimmy Butler with his 38. The dunk of the night, Moses Moody of the Golden State Warriors on the fast break. Desmond Bane had a flyby. It wasn't quite a jam on Bane. He tried to make the defensive play, but Moody got up there for the jam. And the performance of the night, presented by Contract Year. Play in your contract year. Steph Curry, 37, 15 in the fourth quarter, a perfect 13 of 13 from the free throw line. Not unethical, borderline, but I think Curry gets fouled all the time. He gets hammered, so going to the line 13 times, that's not a surprise, given the way that he should be officiated at times. 6 of 13 from 3, no surprise there. He was perfect from the stripe, as mentioned. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, another classic performance from Curry. Let's go news items. NBA ratings. Well, the sky is not falling after all the early season talk of how poor the NBA viewership numbers are and were. Things not so bad after all. I think it's because of Z's and Threes. We brought everybody here. Thanks for coming along. Like and subscribe while you're at it. Regular season numbers down just 2%. That is in line with the same decrease experienced by the NFL. That's always the benchmark. So you could say, well, it's not good. The numbers are down. Well, the NFL numbers are down. NBA numbers are down correspondingly. So it's a win. Regular season games averaged 1.53 million viewers. Let's see how the playoff numbers come back. Mavs general manager Nico Harrison, the architect of the Luka Doncic trade, finally spoke to the press and answered questions. But there were no cameras and no recording devices allowed. So this is all old school pen and paper, well, laptop typing reporting. The quote, repeated over and over per the reporting, defense wins championships, from Nico Harrison. It continued to be the sales line in defense of trading away Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. Harrison also said, quote, no regrets on the trade. I think once we win, then that will change your mind, end quote. Well, the Dallas Mavericks season is on the line, and they have to win tomorrow for a chance to play into the playoffs. Wednesday night, so probably when you're watching this will be Wednesday. I'm recording it late Tuesday night. So Nico Harrison has spoken and ultimately feels that he will be validated in his decision. What's he supposed to say? Yeah, I screwed this one up. Worst trade in NBA history. Fire me right now. I mean, come on. Damian Lillard. He will continue to be on the bench come start of the playoffs for the Milwaukee Bucks, who tip off their series Saturday at the Pacers. A blood clot in his calf continues to be the cause and has yet to be cleared to resume full basketball activities. There was optimism for the Bucks that potentially they would begin that series with Lillard, but not quite yet. New Orleans Pelicans, they will tap a known name to try to regroup from their massive failure, injury-ridden season. Joe Dumars will become the new president of basketball operations, replacing David Griffin. Dumars was last with the Kings in 2022, has been the NBA's VP of basketball operations since. If you think back to where he made his bones in the front office, well, that was as the GM of the Pistons. He won 2 titles there as a player, a third in the front office. He was there from 2000 to 2014, architect of their 2004 NBA championship team, executive of the year in the NBA in 2003. He has roots in the boot, returning to his native Louisiana. In the first order of business, what to do with Zion Williamson. The Pelicans finished with the 4th worst record in the league. Speaking of bad records and disappointing seasons, well, bad year for the Suns and a bad year for Mikes. Mike Budenholzer joining the list of Mikes. Mike Brown of the Sacramento Kings and Mike, a.k.a. Michael Malone of the Denver Nuggets that lost their head coaching jobs this season. Finished first, his first year did Budenholzer of a 5-year, $50 million contract. So how about this for dead money? The Suns still owe Budenholzer $40 million. This is after they went 36-46, missing the play-in in its entirety with the league's highest salary payroll at $214 million for player salary. On top of that, a $152 million luxury tax bill. And now they owe Budenholzer $40 million to not coach. I think they still owe Monty Williams some money too. I could be wrong. I don't know. But Mike Budenholzer out of a job. Phoenix will be on their 4th head coach in 4 years come the start of next season. Short and sweet to recap Tuesday's play-in games. Got a big day tomorrow. Going out into the field, working on something special for the Signature Sneaker Showdown. Episode 3, it's going to be a good one. You're not going to want to miss it. I think I'm going to drop it this weekend to just coincide with all of the playoff action. Wednesday night, 9-10 games. Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls. Remember, in the 9-10, the loser, their season is over. That first one should be good. And then the Dallas Mavericks, as mentioned, can they validate Nico Harrison and play some defense against the Sacramento Kings? Winners of those 2 games will play the losers of the 2 matchups tonight. So the Atlanta Hawks and the Memphis Grizzlies will host those games come Friday. If you missed anything, as always, these and threes, we got you. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Playoffs right around the corner. We will do previews later this week on Friday. Be back tomorrow to break down the other 2 play-in games. Enjoy your day. Peace.